If you are watching this video, there's a good chance you are either going through amphetamine withdrawal right now or you love someone who is. And if that is the case, I want to say something important right at the beginning. What you are feeling does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are broken. It does not mean you made some irreversible mistake. Amphetamine withdrawal is real. It is intense, and it is one of the most misunderstood withdrawal experiences there is. Today, we are going to talk honestly about what withdrawal from amphetamines and related medications or drugs can feel like, why it happens, what is normal, what is dangerous, and how to survive it without hating yourself in the process. This includes prescription stimulants like Adderall, Dexedrine, Vyvanse, and similar medications. It also includes illicit stimulants like methamphetamine and other amphetamine-based substances. Different substances, different doses, different histories, but the withdrawal experience shares many of the same core features. And if you are in it right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not imagining this. Your nervous system is injured, not failing. Let us start with what amphetamines do to the brain. Amphetamines increase levels of dopamine, norepinephrine, and to some extent serotonin. These chemicals regulate motivation, focus, alertness, pleasure, movement, and emotional drive. When you take amphetamines regularly, your brain adapts. It reduces its own natural production of these chemicals. It downregulates receptors. It learns to rely on the drug to maintain balance. This is not a moral failure. This is basic neurobiology. So when the drug is suddenly reduced or stopped, the brain is left in a deficit state. That deficit is withdrawal. And unlike opioid withdrawal, which is often described as physically violent and obvious, amphetamine withdrawal is often quieter but deeply destabilizing. It attacks energy, mood, motivation, and identity. Let us talk about the timeline. Withdrawal usually begins within 24 to 72 hours after stopping or reducing use. For some people, symptoms start sooner. For others, it can take a few days. The first phase is often called the crash. This is when the stimulant effect disappears and the nervous system drops hard. People often experience overwhelming fatigue, sleep that does not feel restorative, heavy limbs, brain fog, a sense that even basic tasks are impossible. Some people sleep for 12 to 16 hours a day. Others cannot sleep at all. Both are common. Emotionally, this phase can feel bleak. Depression, emptiness, anhedonia, which means the inability to feel pleasure, irritability, a sense that nothing matters. People often say, I feel dead inside. I feel like myself is gone. I feel like I ruined my brain. These thoughts feel convincing because dopamine is not just about pleasure, it is about meaning. When dopamine is low, life feels pointless. This is chemistry, not truth. Then there's the anxiety phase. Many people expect withdrawal to make them calm or sedated. Instead, they feel panicked, restless, and internally agitated. Heart racing, chest tightness, racing thoughts, doom thinking, intrusive thoughts, fear that something is permanently wrong. This happens because the nervous system has lost its regulatory balance. The brain is understimulated and overstressed at the same time. It is like slamming the brakes and the gas pedal together. This is also when cravings often appear, not because you want to get high, but because your brain is desperate to feel normal again. Cravings during withdrawal are not a sign that you are weak or addicted forever. They are a sign of neurological injury trying to heal. Now let us talk about the emotional symptoms that scare people the most. Depression during amphetamine withdrawal can be severe. For some people, it includes suicidal thoughts. This is critical to say clearly. If you are experiencing thoughts about harming yourself, you need support immediately. Withdrawal depression lies. It tells you this is who you really are. It tells you this will never end. That is not accurate. The brain during withdrawal is not a reliable narrator. The despair you feel is amplified by chemical depletion. That does not make it fake, but it does mean it is temporary. Another common symptom is emotional numbness. People say they cannot feel love. They cannot feel connection. They feel disconnected from their children, their partner, their life. This is one of the hardest parts because it creates fear that you lost your soul. You did not. Your reward system is offline, not erased. It comes back gradually. Now let us talk about cognition. During withdrawal, thinking can feel slow and scattered. Memory problems, difficulty speaking clearly, trouble reading or following conversations, losing words mid-sentence. This can be terrifying, especially for people who relied on stimulants for work or ADHD management. This cognitive fog is one of the most common and reversible symptoms. The brain is conserving energy while rebuilding. It is not permanent damage. Now we need to address the difference between short-term withdrawal and what is sometimes called post-acute withdrawal. For some people, after the initial crash improves, symptoms linger. Low motivation, fatigue, depression, sleep disruption, emotional flatness. This can last weeks or even months depending on duration of use, dose, and individual brain chemistry. This phase is not failure. It is healing at a slower pace. The brain heals from stimulants differently than from depressants. It heals by regrowing balance, not by detoxing a substance. So what helps? First, rest is not optional. Your brain is repairing neurotransmitter systems. That takes energy. If you are exhausted, sleep. If you cannot sleep, rest anyway. Second, nutrition matters more than people think. Protein supports dopamine synthesis. Complex carbohydrates support serotonin balance. Regular meals stabilize blood sugar, which stabilizes mood. Even if you have no appetite, small, frequent meals help. Third, gentle structure helps, not productivity pressure. Structure, wake time, meals, a short walk, a shower. These are not self-improvement tasks. They are nervous system anchors. Fourth, reduce stimulation. Withdrawal makes the brain hypersensitive. Bright lights, loud sounds, constant scrolling, caffeine. These can worsen anxiety and agitation. Quiet environments help the brain recalibrate. Fifth, connection matters even when you feel numb. Isolation worsens withdrawal depression. You do not have to feel connected to benefit from contact. Your nervous system still registers safety. Sixth, medical support is important. For people withdrawing from prescription stimulants, tapering under medical supervision can reduce severity. For people withdrawing from illicit stimulants, medical monitoring is critical if symptoms are severe. Depression with suicidal thoughts is not something to white-knuckle alone. Now let us talk about a fear many people carry, the fear that they will never be functional again, that they will never have motivation, focus, or joy without stimulants. This fear is understandable, but the brain is adaptive. Dopamine receptors upregulate over time. Natural reward pathways recover. This does not mean life becomes easy. It means the baseline returns. Many people report that after recovery, emotions feel deeper. Joy feels earned again. Sleep feels real. It takes time. Healing from amphetamines is not linear. There are good days and terrible days. Improvement often comes in waves. You might feel better one week and worse the next. That does not mean you are going backward. It means the nervous system is recalibrating. Finally, I want to speak directly to you if you are in withdrawal right now. If your body feels heavy, if your mind feels dark, if you feel ashamed or scared or regretful, this state is not the truth of who you are. It is a brain recovering from chemical stress. You do not need to punish yourself to heal. You need safety, time, and support. Withdrawal does not mean you failed. It means your nervous system is trying to survive change. And it does get better. Slowly, quietly, but genuinely. If this video helped you understand what you're going through, please like it so it can reach others who need to hear this. And if you want more honest conversations about mental health, recovery, and the nervous system, consider subscribing. You are not alone in this, and you are not beyond repair.